The ship broke through the darkness of space, its engines glowing against the star-scattered blackness. Not far ahead, the massive space station Concordia waited, its ring-like structure rotating slowly. Inside this station, the most powerful beings in the galaxy met today for their big meeting. Captain Jin stood on the bridge of Earth's first faster-than-light ship, the Horizon. She looked at her small team, Lieutenant Choi at weapons, Dr. Kang handling science, and Diplomat Bay preparing for first contact. They were humanity's representatives to the stars. "We're approaching the Concordia station," said Lieutenant Choi. "No response to our signals yet." Captain Jin nodded. "Keep trying. We come in peace, but they need to know that." Inside the Concordia, the Galactic Council was in the middle of their 100-year meeting. 27 different alien species sat around a massive table. Some had scales, others had tentacles, and a few glowed with inner light. They talked about trade routes and border issues when suddenly, alarms blared. "Unknown ship approaching," called out a blue-skinned security officer. "It's not in our database." The council leader, a tall being with 4 arms, stood up. "Show us." The screen lit up with an image of the Horizon. Many council members gasped or made sounds of surprise. "This technology is primitive," said one member with crystal skin. "But they shouldn't be here. No species achieves light speed this quickly." The Valdar ambassador, a red-scaled being with sharp teeth, hissed loudly. "This is a threat. Destroy them now." "We will not attack without cause," the council leader said firmly. "Open communications." On the horizon, a screen lit up with the image of the council chamber. Captain Jin stepped forward. "Greetings. I am Captain Jin of Earth. We come seeking peaceful contact and wish to join your galactic community." Murmurs filled the council chamber. Some leaned forward with interest. Others backed away in fear. "Humans were not expected to reach the stars for another century," said a ghostly figure floating above its seat. "How did you achieve this?" Captain Jin smiled. "We adapt. We solve problems. It's what humans do best." The Valdar ambassador slammed a clawed hand on the table. "These creatures still fight wars among themselves. They are dangerous and unpredictable," Dr. Kang whispered to Captain Jin. "They're afraid of us." Jin nodded slightly. "We come with open hands and hope to learn from you all," she said to the council. "Earth wishes to join the galactic family." The council leader raised all 4 hands for silence. "This is unprecedented. We must discuss this unexpected arrival." "While you discuss," the Valdar ambassador said, "I suggest containing them. For safety." Captain Jin felt a chill. The word containing sounded too much like imprisoning. The council leader looked directly at Jin. "We will grant you observer status for 1 day while we decide. You may dock at Bay 12. A guide will meet you." As the communication ended, Lieutenant Choi looked worried. "Captain, I don't think everyone there wants us here." Jin looked at the massive station growing larger in their viewport. "No, they don't. But we've come too far to turn back now. Earth's future depends on what happens in the next 24 hours. The Horizon approached the docking bay slowly. Through the windows, hundreds of alien faces watched them. Some curious, some hostile. "Look at them all," whispered Diplomat Bay. "So many species living together." "And none of them expected us," replied Captain Jin. "Not yet, anyway." As the ship locked into place, they felt a slight shudder. They had arrived at humanity's most important meeting. First contact was no longer theory. It was happening now. Captain Jin straightened her uniform. "Remember your training. Be respectful. Be careful, and above all, be human. That's what makes us special." She took a deep breath. "Let's make history." The airlock door began to open, revealing strange lights and even stranger beings waiting on the other side. Humanity's first day at the Galactic Council had begun. The human delegation moved through the gleaming corridors of Concordia Station, led by their guide, a tall being with smooth blue skin named Tolo. Captain Jin walked at the front with Lieutenant Choi, Dr. Kang, and Diplomat Bay following closely behind. Their eyes widened at the sights around them. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the hall, some floating, others slithering, many walking on various numbers of legs. "These are your quarters for your stay," Tolo said, gesturing to a door that slid open automatically. "They are designed for oxygen breathers. I hope they will be comfortable." The room was simple but elegant, with strange furniture that seemed to adjust its shape as they approached. "Thank you," Captain Jin said. "When will the council want to speak with us again?" "Tomorrow," Tolo replied. "Until then, you may explore public areas of the station. I suggest you visit the Grand Observation Deck. Many find it illuminating." After Tolo left, the team gathered to discuss their situation. "Did you notice how some species moved away from us in the hallway?" Dr. Kang asked. "They fear us?" "Others seemed very interested," Diplomat Bay added. "I counted at least 3 different species that tried to make eye contact." Captain Jin nodded. "We need to learn more about this council, especially about these Valdar who seem so hostile." They decided to visit the station's public areas to learn what they could. The Grand Observation Deck was a massive space with transparent walls showing the stars and nearby planets. Aliens of all kinds gathered there, some clearly discussing the humans' arrival. As they entered, a small group of beings with jewel-like skin approached them. "Greetings, humans," one said through a translator device. "We are the Lumi. We have many questions about your world." Diplomat Bay stepped forward with a smile. "We would be happy to share." The conversation flowed easily as the humans described Earth and its many cultures. More aliens gathered to listen, some recording the exchange with small devices. "Your species advanced so quickly," one Lumi said. "Most take thousands of years to reach the stars after discovering electricity." "Necessity drives innovation," Dr. Kang explained. "Our world faces many challenges." Suddenly, a commotion broke out across the deck. A large, red-scaled Valdar was towering over a small, trembling alien half its size. "Your kind blocked our mining rights in the SETI sector," the Valdar growled. "Perhaps I should show you how we deal with such problems." Without hesitation, Lieutenant Choi moved across the room and positioned himself between the 2 aliens. "Is there a problem here?" he asked calmly, looking up at the much taller Valdar. The Valdar seemed shocked by the intervention. "This is not your concern, human." "I'm making it my concern," Choi replied. "Where I come from, we don't intimidate those smaller than us." The room had gone completely silent. Every alien watched the standoff, many recording it. The Valdar hissed, showing sharp teeth. "You know nothing of our ways, primitive." "I know enough about bullies," Choi said. "They're the same across the universe, apparently." Station security arrived, floating orbs that emitted a soft hum. The Valdar backed away, pointing at Choi. "Remember this," it snarled before leaving. The small alien looked up at Choi with wide, blinking eyes. "Thank you, human. I am Nivi of the Prill. Not many stand against the Valdar." Word of the incident spread quickly through the station. As the humans continued their tour, they noticed the reactions to their presence had changed. Some aliens now nodded respectfully, while others watched with even greater caution. Later, as they ate strange but tasty food in the station's dining area, Tolo found them again. "Your actions today have caused quite a stir," their guide said. "The Valdar have filed a formal complaint against your species." Captain Jin frowned. "For preventing intimidation?" "For unpredictable behavior," Tolo corrected. "But others see it differently. The Prill have many allies who appreciate your intervention." Tolo leaned closer, speaking more quietly. "You should know that the Valdar have been expanding their territory rapidly. Many pre-spacefaring worlds have disappeared after Valdar survey missions." Dr. Kang's eyes widened. "Are you saying they destroy developing civilizations?" "I am saying nothing officially," Tolo replied. "But if Earth is not granted council protection..." The guide left the sentence unfinished. As they returned to their quarters, Captain Jin looked at her team. "We have less than 18 hours to convince the council to accept us, and it seems we've already made powerful enemies." "And some friends," Diplomat Bay added. "The Lumi seemed impressed by us." Lieutenant Choi nodded. Tomorrow at the council meeting will determine Earth's future. We'd better be ready. That night, as the others slept, Captain Jin stood at the window looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, unaware of the danger it might face. Their first day wasn't over yet, and already the stakes were higher than they'd ever imagined. The Grand Council chamber buzzed with tension as Captain Jin and her team entered. Hundreds of alien representatives sat in rising tiers around a central speaking platform. The room fell quiet as the humans walked to the center. The council leader, tall with 4 graceful arms, spoke first. The delegation from Earth may now present their case for recognition. Captain Jin stepped forward, her voice steady. Thank you for this opportunity. Earth is a young world by your standards, but we have much to offer the galactic community. She activated a small device, and images of Earth appeared in the air. Blue oceans, green forests, busy cities, and people of all colors working together. Humans have overcome many challenges. We've survived natural disasters, diseases, and yes, our own conflicts. Each time we've emerged stronger. Dr. Kang stepped forward to show human technological progress. In just 300 years, we moved from steam engines to faster-than-light travel. Murmurs spread through the chamber. A being with crystal skin spoke up. Such rapid advancement is concerning. Most species take thousands of years for such progress. Necessity drives us, Dr. Kang explained. When faced with problems, humans find solutions. She showed images of medical advancements that made several council members lean forward with interest. This cellular regeneration technique, said a floating alien with tentacles. We have not seen this approach before. Our short lives push us to innovate, Dr. Kang said. What some see as a weakness became our strength. The atmosphere in the room shifted. Several species began talking among themselves, clearly impressed. But not everyone was convinced. The Valdar ambassador rose from his seat, his red scales gleaming under the lights. The council should see all sides of humanity. He activated his own device, showing scenes of Earth's wars, pollution, and social problems. These creatures fight among themselves constantly. They damage their own world. And now they want to join us? The images were carefully chosen to make humans look violent and dangerous. Captain Jin noticed how the Valdar had edited out any scenes of peace, cooperation, or rebuilding. All young species face challenges, Diplomat Bay countered. The question is whether we learn from them. The council chamber divided into loud discussions. Some members pointed at the humans with excitement, others with fear. Tolo approached the human delegation quietly. The council is splitting into factions. This rarely happens. Is that good or bad for us? Lieutenant Choi asked. Both, Tolo replied. But there is something you should know. I have friends in communication control. A Valdar fleet left their homeworld 3 days ago, heading toward your solar system. Captain Jin felt cold fear. Fleet, what kind? They call it a survey mission, but the ships are heavily armed. The council leader called for order with a strange musical tone. We will hear final statements before deliberation. The Valdar ambassador spoke first. The human species is unpredictable and dangerous. We propose they be classified as a containment species, restricted to their home system until they prove themselves safe. Several council members nodded in agreement. Captain Jin realized they needed a bold move. As she prepared to speak, an elderly alien with skin like the night sky stood up. Before the human responds, I must speak. The room went completely silent. This was Eldar, the oldest council member from a species that rarely spoke. I have watched 1,000 species join this council. Some brought great gifts, others caused great harm, but none have caused such division in their first day. Eldar's voice was soft, but carried to every corner. This alone makes humans worthy of our attention, the Valdar ambassador hissed. They are a threat. Perhaps, Eldar replied, or perhaps they are exactly what our stagnant council needs. Captain Jin looked around the chamber. She saw fear in many eyes, but also curiosity and hope. Earth's fate hung in the balance, and she had one chance to tip the scales. She stepped forward to make humanity's final case, knowing that somewhere in space, Valdar ships were already moving toward Earth. The next few minutes would determine whether humans faced this threat alone or with allies. Captain Jin stood in the center of the council chamber, facing the divided alien representatives. She knew that Earth's fate hung on her next words. The Valdar wanted humans contained while others were curious but fearful. She needed to show them something they hadn't seen before. "Distinguished council members," she began, "you've seen our technologies and our conflicts, but you haven't yet seen our greatest strength." She tapped her device and new images appeared. Humans living in every environment on Earth. "Humans thrive in deserts where water is scarce," she said, showing people in the Sahara. "We live in Arctic regions where temperatures drop below freezing." The image shifted to Inuit communities. "We climb mountains where oxygen is thin and build cities on earthquake zones." The aliens watched silently as image after image showed humans adapting to different challenges. "No other species on our planet has spread to so many environments," Jin continued. "When we face problems, we don't just survive, we find new ways to live." A tall, insect-like alien stood up. "Words are easy, proof is harder. I challenge these humans to demonstrate this adaptability." The council leader nodded. "A fair request. A series of tests, perhaps?" Captain Jin looked at her team. They nodded. "We accept." The tests began immediately. First, the humans were presented with an alien puzzle box that most species took days to solve. Dr. Kang examined it from all angles, then worked with Lieutenant Choi to open it in just 2 hours. Next, they faced a language challenge, communicating with a species that used color patterns instead of sounds. Diplomat Bay quickly created a system of hand signals that bridged the gap. For the final test, they were given broken alien technology and asked to repair it without instructions. Captain Jin and Dr. Kang worked together, applying principles they knew from Earth technology to fix the strange device. Each time the council members watched in amazement. The humans didn't always use the expected approach, but they found solutions that worked. Meanwhile, Dr. Kang had been quietly working with friendly alien scientists. They had gained access to Valdar communications and were decoding them in a small room away from the main chamber. "There," said a Lumi scientist, pointing at strange symbols. "This is their fleet pattern." Dr. Kang studied the data. "These aren't survey vessels. The energy readings are too high. These are warships." She rushed back to the council chamber just as the final test concluded. She whispered urgently to Captain Jin, showing her the evidence. Jin's face hardened. She stepped forward again. "Honorable Council, while we completed your tests, we discovered something important." She displayed the decoded Valdar communications. "The fleet heading toward Earth isn't a survey mission. It's an invasion force." The chamber erupted. The Valdar ambassador rose, hissing loudly. "This is a violation of our privacy. Humans have no right to access our military communications." "So you admit these are military vessels?" Jin asked calmly. The Valdar's eyes narrowed. "We protect ourselves from threats. Humans are unpredictable and dangerous. They should be contained before they spread their chaos throughout the galaxy." Several council members moved away from the Valdar section. Others moved closer to the Bauer humans. "The Valdar have been expanding their territory for centuries," said a small alien with bright eyes, "always claiming protection and security as their reason." The Valdar ambassador snarled. "Humans are different. They are too adaptable, too quick to change. No species should advance so rapidly. It upsets the natural order." Captain Jin understood, then. "You fear us because we're different, because we might change things." "Change brings chaos," the Valdar hissed. "Change brings growth," Jin countered. "Yes, humans adapt quickly. Yes, we solve problems in unexpected ways. These are the very qualities that helped us reach the stars, and the same qualities we offer to the Council." The ancient council member, Eldar, nodded slowly. "Perhaps what we fear most is exactly what we need." The council chamber had become a sea of whispers and debates. The lines were clearly drawn now, those who feared change, and those who embraced it. As the council prepared to vote on Earth's fate, the station alert suddenly blared. The Valdar had made their move. Red lights flashed throughout Concordia Station as alarms blared. The Valdar had activated an emergency lockdown protocol, sealing all doors and cutting communications between sections of the station. "This is a security breach," shouted the council leader over the noise. "All representatives remain in your positions." Captain Jin looked at her team. "This is a desperate move. The Valdar know they're losing the vote." Security orbs flew around the chamber scanning for threats. The Valdar ambassador stood calmly amid the chaos, watching the confusion with cold eyes. "What have you done?" demanded Eldar, the ancient council member. "Protected the galaxy," the Valdar replied simply. "When our fleet reaches Earth, humans will understand their proper place." Lieutenant Choi checked his communication device. "Captain, we're cut off from our ship, and station systems are failing in sections 5 through 8, and Dr. Kang looked at her scanner. "Those sections have life support issues. There are people trapped there." Captain Jin made a quick decision. "Choi, stay here and protect our position. Kang, Bei, you're with me. We need to help those people." "You can't leave the chamber during lockdown," warned a security officer. Jin looked directly at the council leader. "People need help. That's what humans do." After a brief hesitation, the leader nodded. 3 security orbs followed as the humans rushed toward the affected sections. In the council chamber, confusion continued. The Valdar ambassador raised his voice. "See how the humans run. They abandon the council in its time of need." "Or perhaps," Eldar said quietly, "they go where they are most needed." The station shuddered as another system failed. Emergency lights flickered. In Section 7, Captain Jin and her team found a group of aliens trapped behind a sealed door as the air slowly thinned. "The override isn't working," Diplomat Bay said, fingers flying over the control panel. Dr. Kang scanned the door mechanism. "It's been sabotaged, but if we can connect to the secondary circuit..." Jin looked around and spotted a maintenance panel. There! Working together, they redirected power to force the door open. Inside, several alien diplomats gasped in the thinning air. The humans helped them to safety, Dr. Kang treating those who were injured. "Why do you help us?" asked one alien with glowing skin. "Your species is not yet part of the council." "Because it's the right thing to do," Jin replied simply. As they worked to save more trapped aliens, station security discovered the source of the sabotage. Hidden Valdar devices planted throughout the station. The lockdown was lifted and communications restored. Back in the council chamber, the full story emerged. The Valdar had planned to use the chaos to prevent a vote on Earth's membership, giving their fleet time to reach the human solar system. "The evidence is clear," said the council leader. "The Valdar have violated our most sacred laws. Their actions today show their true intentions." The Valdar ambassador hissed in anger as his delegation was surrounded by security orbs. "Humans will bring change you cannot control. They are dangerous." "Perhaps," Eldar replied. "But today, they have shown us the best kind of danger, the courage to help others at their own risk." Captain Jin and her team returned to the chamber, escorting the aliens they had rescued. A ripple of respect moved through the gathered representatives. "We must vote now," the council leader declared. "The question before us, will Earth be granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council?" The vote was close, but as the final results appeared on the large display, Captain Jin felt tears in her eyes. Earth was accepted. "The delegation from Earth is hereby recognized as the 28th member civilization of the Galactic Council," announced the leader formally. Across the chamber, representatives from a dozen species approached the humans, with offers of alliance and support. Plans were already forming to intercept the Valdar fleet before it reached Earth. As the excitement continued around them, Captain Jin found a quiet moment to look out at the stars through the chamber's large viewport. Somewhere out there was Earth, still unaware of the dramatic events that had unfolded today. "Quite a first day, wasn't it?" said Tolo, appearing beside her. Jin smiled. "And tomorrow will be even more interesting." "Your species surprised us," Tolo admitted. "Many thought humans would fail the tests of diplomacy and wisdom. We're full of surprises, Jin replied. It's our greatest strength. As her team joined her at the viewport, Captain Jin felt both pride and concern. Earth had found its place among the stars, but the Valdar threat remained. Humanity's journey was just beginning, and the path ahead would not be easy. But they wouldn't walk it alone. As the station continued its slow rotation, the first day of humanity in the Galactic Council came to an end, and a new chapter in Earth's history began.